everyone, I'm Galuh Sekar Maharani, but people usually call me Mahar. Today I'm gonna to talk about something really interesting. So I hope you enjoy it with me. By the way, I made this video for my speaking assignments. So wish me luck. Have you ever imagined your ideal partner? Maybe someone as charismatic as a Bollywood star. That's exactly what Paro and Manju dream of in Fidan Verma's short story, A Groom Like Shahrukh Khan. But beyond their admiration for Shahrukh Khan, the story softly critiques arranged marriage, gender roles, and women's lack of autonomy in making life decisions. So let's dive deeper. A groom like Shahrukh follows two best friends, Paro and Manju, who idolize a Bollywood superstar, Shahrukh Khan. They make a secret pact. Their future husbands must not have mustache and must wear jeans because that's the closest they can get to marrying their Bollywood idol. However, in their traditional town, marriage is not about love or personal choice. Their parents decide their fate based on social and financial status, not their own desires. So, Manju is married off first with Raunakal. Raunakal is the son of a wealthy moneylender, but he physically fits their Shahrukh criteria. But turns out he is an alcoholic and have so many bad habits. And Paro's marriage is arranged to a soldier she never meets before the wedding. She has no say in the decisions, and her marriage is finalized without her consent. But before this, Paro was previously rejected by another suitor because of her gray eyes, which were seen as an unattractive things. Ironically, her eventual husband chose her because of her gray eyes, comparing them to Bollywood actress Aishwarya Rai. This is ironic because how women in the story are treated as an object of preference rather than individuals with their own choices and desires. I want to talk about the social issues inside the story because I think this story reflects several social issues that are still relevant today, particularly regarding the gender equality in marriage and women's autonomy. So, number one is that women in this story have no control over their marriage. In many patriarchal societies, marriage is seen as a family decision rather than an individual choice. In the story, Manju marries Raunakal even though she knows he has a drinking problem, and Paru never seen her husband's face until their wedding night. It's sad because in the real world, according to the UNICEF, around 12 million girls worldwide are forced into marriage before the age of 18 every year, often without their consent. Number two is a double standard in marriage. Paro and Manju are not allowed to choose their own partner. Yet men in the story have the freedom to select their brides based on personal preference. Yeah. Paro is chosen by her husband only because of her eye color, reinforcing the idea that woman's value is based on physical appearance rather than personality and intelligence. It is about the looks. And number three is unfair expectation for women in married life. Oh my god. But no, sorry. Manju is told that her husband's drinking problem will fix itself after marriage, placing the burden on her to tolerate and manage him. And also Paru is not allowed to ask if her husband has a mustache because such a question will be seen as an inappropriate. I remember real world data that studies show that in many cultures, women are often expected to be the ones who adjust in marriage, while men's flaws are excused. It's like boys will be boys, like that. I do this. And number four is woman as an object, not an individual. Paro was previously rejected for her gray eyes but later chose because of them, showing how women's value is dictated by men's changing preference rather than their own identities. Meanwhile, Paro and Manju's only expectations for their future husband were incredibly simple. They just wanted men who didn't have mustache and wore jeans. This is hardly a demanding or unrealistic standard, yet even this small preference was completely ignored by their families. In contrast, men in the story face no pressure to be attractive. Rona Cloud, for the example, despite being an alcoholic, is still considered a good match simply because of his financial status. Paro's husband, too, is chosen for her without any concern for his looks or personality, while Paro herself is only considered worthy after her appearance is re- as- re- by a man. This double standard reinforces the idea that women are expected to conform to be beauty ideals, while men are judged by their wealth or status rather than their appearance or character. We need to talk about how can women have more agency in this story, right? What what could have been done differently to give Paro and Manju more control over their lives? Number one is a key. Education is a key to freedom. If Paro and Manju had access to higher education, they would have had more options in life, including choosing their own partners and also being financially independent rather than relying on their families so they can choose their own decision for life is based on the data in the real world. In countries where women's education is prioritized, child marriage rates are significantly lower. And This is true. Number two is changing societal mindset about marriage. Families should prioritize their daughter happiness, not just social status. Society must stop seeing women as burdens that need to be married off quickly, not to be married off quickly. Because a study by UN in 2022 found that in regions where gender equality campaigns were implemented, women's autonomy in marriage decision increased by 35 and 40%. This is must be normal. Number three is giving women a voice in family decisions. If Paru and Manju had been encouraged to speak up, they might have had more influence over their futures. Some communities actively involve women in marriage decisions. This is also should become a norm. And the last thing is about redefining beauty and value beyond physically appearance. Instead of being judged for their looks, women should be valued for their intelligence or should be valued for their personality and of course for their ambitions. The media, including Bollywood, should promote more diverse representations of female beauty rather than reinforcing limited standards. This is a big deal for us, especially for a woman. Real world example. A recent campaign in India called hashtag unfair and lovely challenge colorism and narrow beauty ideals, promoting self-accepted and diversity. I think this is should be more common in real life. Ultimately, a groom like Shahrukh is not just about two girls dreaming of a Bollywood romance. It's a critique of how society limits women's choices, especially in marriage. We might laugh at their obsession with Shah Rukh Khan, but the real question is when will women truly have control over their own futures? When? Will women truly have control over their own futures? How can we ensure that women have more autonomy in marriage and life decisions? I'm sorry, I must be pause my video because my grandma is wake up. So that's it for today's discussion on a groom like Shahrukh. I hope this video gave you some new insight into how the story reflects real life gender expectation and marriage norms. Actually, I'm tired. And by the way, I know the audio might not be the best because it's so noisy in here and maybe there's some background noises or my voice is not super clear. Sorry about that. I'm still figuring things out that but I really appreciate you sticking around and still listening to me. I'm so appreciated for my Miss Devi. Thank you so much. Bye bye.